everybody, and welcome to another edition of Hot Topics, where we get to talk about some of the things that are in the news and on the minds of boxing fans. I'm AlBernstein, and I'm happy that you joined me for this. Hot topic number one has to do with a couple of women boxers who are now former champions who are making their way back to the what they hope is the pinnacle of their divisions, in one case a new division, to become champions again. Sandy Ryan and Skye Nicholson. Now, both of them are going to be in action coming up. On August 23rd, Skye Nicholson is coming back for the second fight she's had since she lost her crown to Tiara Brown. Now, she has stepped down in weight. She's had a win since the Brown loss, and now she stepped down in weight to the super bantamweight weight for her next fight against Yurashi Singh in a match that she hopes will start to get her into a position to contend at 122 pounds. Fascinating that she went down in weight instead of up. You don't often see that, and she decided that the lower weight would be better for her, and she's been very active. The previous fight she had will have been only a month and a half before she steps in the ring on the 23rd, and she fought once before this year when she fought Brown. So Skye Nicholson being very active, working hard at her craft, getting herself back. She had a kind of a fall from grace with that loss to Tiara Brown. She was being billed as a future star in women's boxing and, had a great following down in Australia and everywhere else. And so the loss to Brown was a difficult one, but instead of, waiting a long time, she got back in the ring, and now she's back in the ring again and applying her craft. Sandy Ryan, who lost earlier this year to Michaela Meyer, the second loss she'd had in the road to Meyer for the welterweight crown. She was a very difficult fight for her. Meyer fought a fantastic fight, maybe the best she's ever fought as a professional, and beat Ryan. And it was a pretty convincing win. And about 4.5 months from that first fight will be when she steps in the ring on September 6th. And she's going to take on Jade Grierson, who is 5-0-1, decent fighter, but it's a little bit more of a tune-up type fight for Sandy Ryan. But it's to get her, I think, acclimated back to her winning ways. And I'm sure if she should win that fight, we're going to see her in against better contenders, top contenders in the welterweight division, or who knows, maybe another title shot somewhere down the line very shortly against someone. Sandy Ryan, those are two difficult fights with Meyer. The first fight, there was the whole paint incident. She suffered a close loss. Then the second fight suffered a wider loss. And so you could easily see that eroding someone's confidence. She wants to get back in the ring and make sure that doesn't happen to her. So two women who kind of demonstrate, in my mind, the tenacity of a lot of the women boxers and women champions out there. They fight often, they fight good competition, and they just keep their nose to the grindstone and get the job done. And we'll see how those two women fare in those fights coming up. The second hot topic is I want to recommend a card to you, a boxing card that is going to be on August 23rd, and is, I think, a very, very good card. Most Valuable Promotions, MVP Promotions, putting it on, and Yenis Tellez, who is a top 154-pounder from Cuba, against Abbas Barrow, who is a very good 154-pounder, who's 16-1, only lost to Jack Koke, a former champion, by a split decision back in 2020. And Tellez is thought of as a really top guy at 154. This is a tough battle for him. That's a great fight. Then Yonkel Rivera and Angelino Cordova, Cordova, two undefeated flyweights, also on that card. That's going to be a great fight. Jermaine Ortiz versus Steve Claggett. Both of them fought Teofimo Lopez and went the distance. And Ortiz had a couple of shots at world titles. Claggett, a Canadian veteran at age 36, still has a little bit in the tank, so he and Ortiz could make for a good matchup. And then Stephanie Han, who is a lightweight champion in the women's ranks, is taking on Paulina Angel in a fight. And Stephanie Han is becoming one of the better known and I think potentially star women boxing in the sport, native of El Paso, Texas, who is a good fighter and has become a personality outside of the ring as well. So that's a card that I think you can see it on DAZN. It's a card that I would highly recommend. I think it's going to be some terrific boxing. Hot topic number 3. Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman are going to fight in October. It was just announced. And Fondora defending his 154-pound title against Thurman, who has only had one fight at 154 pounds. And of course, he's had long stretches of inactivity in recent years, and he's 36 years of age. This match rankles me a little in this sense. There are a number of really good 154 pounders who could get this title shot. And one of my pet peeves are fighters that jump into a division and are there for a minute or two and get title shots in divisions where there are really good fighters. For instance, when George Kambosos got a shot at the 140-pound title, he had been at the lightweight and he fought very tough competition, but he had maybe one fight at the 140, and he jumps ahead of 20 people in that division that could have had that title shot. And that one, to me, is the deepest division in boxing. 154-pound is also very good, and there's a bunch of other fighters that, in my mind, could have had that title shot. And I understand Fondora, who has fought a pretty tough slate and made a mandatory defense just prior to this in the fight against Tszyu. I understand why they would want to take this well-known fighter and, that might and is good at promoting fights, as Keith Thurman is, and create this matchup. But I think in this instance, with all the really good 154-pounders out there, it feels to me like somebody else from amongst the top 10 or even 12 could have found his way into this matchup. But that's just my opinion. It may turn out to be a great fight. Maybe in the ring it'll be a terrific matchup. We don't know. So if it is, then I guess that'll entertain boxing fans. But for me, I'd rather see one of those top 154-pounders. Even if he chooses down near the bottom of the top 10, I'd much rather see that. So that is our hot topics for this edition. If you like what you see here, please follow, like us, and watch all the great content here on the Salita Promotions channel. Great boxing action and a lot of other shows, all our other big-time boxing shows with the interviews and also our hot topic shows. And of course, as I said, the great boxing action. We'll see you next time, everybody.